All right, guys. So I'm going to talk about Married to Medicine. This is season 11, episode 15. Duchess Toya and her royal court. So we start the show off with an English accent over recap of the whole season of how everything been going on. We have Contessa versus Dr. Heavenly, and we had Phaedra versus Dr. Heavenly, they are viscountesses, okay? Viscountess, okay? And we have the House of Longford versus the House of Webb, okay? All right, so this is the finale. Toya is planning this 16-year anniversary of her marriage to Eugene. So it's all about love, right? And she been watching, of course, Bridgerton was real hot the last 3 or whatever years. I know it was real popular during COVID, I think. But I never watched it, so I didn't jump on that bad wagon. But, that old royal countess, duchess, king, queen stuff. Yeah, she's all into it. So she got everybody into it because they got to dress up with the costumes, the whole nine. They doing the dance, whoop whoop whoop. Party planner. I think she said the budget was supposed to be, was it $250,000 roughly? Okay, okay. Um, so pretty much she just worried about is Greg and T gonna show up, and is Quad and King gonna show up. I believe Quad already told her that yes, I'm coming, but the T and Greg thing, they didn't RSVP yet. So we flip over to Greg and T, and they are trying to figure out what they're gonna do about this group. Should we stay? Should we leave? Greg is mainly hurt by the men in the group, I would say, because nobody reached out to him like he thought they would. I could feel it through the TV. Like, nobody was talking to him. Nobody called him. All this give him space and all that kind of crap. Like, I'm not really understanding that. If they were supposed to be your boys, you know what I'm saying? We would have been like, yo, you all right? You cool? What's going on? Let's go out. But that didn't really happen. So for him, it's like a respect thing that's lost. Really mainly between him and Quad. I mean, because technically I think she will be the main one that started disrespect with all that crazy whatever talk that they was doing with the games. But either way, we're trying to move forward, right? T, on the other hand, she was trying to tell Greg how Toya was basically trying to pressure her into choosing sides. Like, you know, how when she was trying to say how hard do you want to fight to be in this group, and for her it's really like, listen, I don't want to have to do all that, like, because if it was me, I don't, what am I fighting for, in all honesty? Like, okay, to be on the show, to be, like, to be on TV and stuff like that, but friendship wise and all that, like, do I really have to jump through hoops and hurdles just to belong in this group? Like, that's just a lot. So, Gregory does know that the men want him to drop the charges, so I believe he's thinking about it. It's just, like I said, for him, that respect aspect was missing, right? So this part of the show is just kind of showing everybody getting dressed and things like that, and what they expecting to happen, and hopefully, all the coulda, woulda, shouldas. This is the first anniversary party that they've ever thrown for themselves, which is kind of surprising. So I'm like, dang, all these parties y'all done had. But it was mostly like birthday parties and stuff like that. So, and mostly anniversary stuff you do, by yourselves, take a trip, go out to dinner, stuff like that. So to share this with everybody, it's just something that Toy is trying to do, spread the love and all this good stuff, right? As well as bring these group of people back together, because we need everyone together, hopefully, or how can we do this, right? She figures that if from 8 to 9 we'll do cocktail hour, so that way Gregory and T can show up then, say hi, have a drink, whoop de whoop de whoop, show support, and then be out of here by 9 when Quad shows up, so that way there's no drama, right? So, um, while everybody's getting dressed, they are very hopeful. I believe pretty much Toya and Eugene are very hopeful. King and Quad, on the other hand, while they're um, getting their stuff together, they trying to process the charges that Gregory had tried to pursue. Well, I guess he did pursue, but I think at this point it's been dropped, okay? Because as we see previews for the reunion, if there was some restraining order issue, they wouldn't be in the same, sitting across from each other in the reunion, right? So obviously it's been dropped. So they was just trying to see, like, dang, like, I didn't know he was gonna go this far, like, and King gonna try to pull the black man versus black man card. Like, dude, no, 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 no. You have me at everything except for that. Don't try to throw this black man on black man crime, because that's not how that's happened. Okay. He threw the charges at you because you lunged at him to try to attack him, right? Or, um so that wasn't no black on black crime, so to speak. So don't use that excuse. Unfortunately, I couldn't get with King on that part. Okay. But Quiet just says that, listen, me and you, we just ain't gonna be around them at all. If they gonna be in the room, then we just gonna leave. Okay? If they gonna be there, then we just not gonna be there. And that's just what it's gonna be. So everybody's arriving to the party. The costumes, cute and funny at the same time, because Scott had on this wig, which I'm like, dude, your wig was definitely a USA 19, no, a USA 7076, 7077. And Dr. G's wig was given UK 7075. Okay, like, it was super hilarious of just the ponytails that they had on. Okay. Damon. Oh wait, well, because they didn't show up just yet. But Simone, pink Barbie. She looked like a Barbie, like she was going to prom. So I'm like, girl, that's not what they wore back. They didn't have that color pink, unfortunately. Like, no. And GNT, Greg and Tisha, they do show up at happy hour promptly at 8 o'clock or so, which is good because they get to spend the whole hour with everybody. They dressed up, they look nice. Shooting the bobos, wooty wooty. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. How y'all feeling? Oh, y'all doing all right? Yeah, it's unfortunate this and this and that we can't all be together, but we're gonna try. All the small talks going around, right? So for here, Sweet Tea decided that, okay, so since I can't necessarily be in this group like I want to be, I'm going to just drop a little bombshell before I go type sort of thing. I don't know, like, so I can get at them real quick. It was some little pamphlet that was passed around to everybody. Probably, like a little pamphlet where you can open it. Okay. And it was basically breaking down each person, like, okay, Curtis was a cheater, Dr. Heavenly ain't no good, Cecil had a lesbian relationship, like, just weird ass dumb crazy stuff, right? And it was supposed to be shady, but it didn't land. Everybody was looking at it like, what is this crap? Some people was ripping it up like, this is what? So she tried it, but it was denied. Okay. And in all honesty, if somebody would have passed that to me in a party, I would have like, what is this? And put that stuff right back down. I was not about to be reading nothing. So no, girl, that did not work. So since Gregory is around the fellas, he decided to let them know that, look, I thought about everything. Yes, like I said, I believe he's gonna drop the charges, and he's going to let the other guys in the group, Eugene, Damon, Curtis, Scott, I'm gonna let y'all bring King and me together, okay? Because obviously I can't do it by myself. Obviously he can't do it by himself, but y'all as my friends, if we can do this together, then I'm willing to, I'm willing to do that. So they said, all right, cool, we got that. So next thing we do, we just gotta get King in here. We're gonna reel him in, and then whoop de whoop de whoop, we're gonna sell it, right? About 15 minutes to 9, okay? 15 to 9, because the clock is on it, all right? The clock is on it. They like, oh dang, Quad is on their way. Quad and Heavenly's on their way. Because Heavenly and Quad is showing up at the same time, okay? Because they, besties at this point. So they look, forget a Jackie. It's Quad, right? So they trying to nicely kick them out. Like, okay, y'all, well, they, Heavenly and Simone is, Quad is on their way, so it would just be best if y'all would just leave now so that we don't got no drama and all this type of stuff. But how do y'all feel about it? You know? So, of course, Tisha was like, well, I mean, I want to stay. And this was really only because the way, I guess it was really the way that Toya kind of brought it up, right? With her wording. Because I noticed that with T, because she's not like a fool or anything, like I know everybody likes to think she's just a big goof and dumb. But no, she's very well, like she went to the military and all that type stuff. Like, she's okay. She's not like a dumbass. So she be catching stuff, and that's how she moves accordingly, okay? I kind of noticed that with her. T, she did want to stay. Like I do want to stay with y'all. Like, I'm cool with half the people in the group. It's just Heavenly and the Quad is the only ones that I gotta really deal with that, with that negative stuff. But Gregory was like, listen, thanks, but no thanks. We just gonna go because it's just better that way. I don't want to stir up no pot. Like, I came for our support. We came for our little hour. We did what we had to do. But we just gonna go and y'all just have a good old evening, right? So he did it the right way, and they just left. And it is what it is. It's gonna be with us. It is what it is what it is, and this is how it's gonna be. They just can't be in the same room at this moment. So as they're leaving, Tisha, I guess, has some type of revelation that the group has made her stronger in some type of way. Because this will be her second year around the circle with these people, or at least on the show, 2 seasons, so we call it 2 years, right? Um, yeah, it's made her stronger in some type of way, and she did make some bonds with some people, even though it was some ups and downs in the way that they introduced her. But she got Toya, she got Contessa. I think she got Mimi on her side. I'm not sure. And the previews tricked us because she was supposed to give some extra 2 cents, and we never got it. Because I was sure about to go in on her. I think they probably cut that because they noticed that, yeah, it wasn't going to fit right. That she was just giving all this extra and she didn't need it. Because I was about to say, girl, what? Ooh, you don't know. But it's all right. They decide that they just gonna take a little time from the group and regroup, especially if they want to try to have this baby and stuff. They need to concentrate on each other and their marriage. Like they still honeymooners too. Like they need to enjoy themselves. So if being in this group is gonna be stressful and all this carrying on, let's just go. Fine. So that's where, for me, yeah, we got to get to the reunion on that because that's gonna really let us know if they're gonna quit the show, if they not. Because can we or can we not? So pretty much after they leave, it's about 9 o'clock ish, or something to that nature. Which I'm surprised that Quad was a bit on time for them to actually do this time accordingly, because they could have stayed longer and if she would have showed up at about like 11, 12. But she showed up on time, which is cool. Okay. Maybe because of King. I say, look, maybe because of King. I don't know if she was by herself. She definitely probably would have never showed up. But anyway, Heavenly was looking like a fairy godmother. And that afro was just not, it was a fake wig afro because it had the fake braids or twist in the front. I don't know. It was really bad. And Damon was just as regular as his old usual self, like black regular old suit tie. He just didn't even try, but he never does. Usually he in scrubs, but he The party's moving on. The party's moving on. And at this point, they do have some type of lady who's giving an announcements, and she's speaking in her best English accent and things of that nature. And so we're going to introduce the couples one by one, and they come down the stairs, and because this was supposed to be Toya's court. I don't know. Maybe this was dinner time, but they all coming down the stairs to do what? I'm not sure, but they were introduced to everybody accordingly, and that's where we saw. Because I'm like, dang, did we not know that King's name was Marquise? I'm like, dang, we calling his King this whole time, but his name is Marquise. But okay, okay. Now I can't remember who Contessa T. Simone. I don't remember who they was talking to. I think it was Simone and Contessa. But they were explaining to somebody that they had talked to Phaedra like maybe a few days prior to this anniversary party, because they remember they was trying to get her to come. But she had already told Jackie that she did not want to be part of the group anymore because she just wasn't feeling the way that things went down at that trip. Like, they was trying to set her up and stuff like that. And the main culprit was Heavenly. So they just tried to explain that, yeah, she not coming back or nothing. But she is cool with some of us. She just not cool. She not messing with Heavenly. Like, that was like the last straw for her. Obviously, that's not her friend. If you're gonna be trying to set me up like that, that wasn't cool. Even though she knew about the setup. You see what I'm saying? That was the only thing. Like, you knew, you played into it because you added wind to the fire, smoke to the fire, wood to the fire. I don't know, but she added to it because you bought Shaq, and you know how you like. This is what I'm just like. Quiet, like, y'all know each other, y'all know what to do to push each other buttons. So you do stuff on purpose to make people mad, and then now you turn around and then you be mad because. But either way, Phaedra gone. Eugene gives this real grand old speech about, how much he loves his wife and Toya and things of that nature. Real cool, 16 years, long time, and they've been going strong ever since. So this is where we kind of get like a little screen split section going on here, because the guys is over here on one spot. And you know how the camera likes to do that little trick where we talking to them, but then we flash pan over to the women and see what they talking about, which is pretty much the same thing. So the men bring up Greg. They like, hey, King, you do know Greg was here earlier. Oh, and Damon, because y'all missed it. He was cool. He was, they was all good. And he changed, he has time to think. He calmed down. And he said that he want all of us to get together and to help y'all, and talk it out and work it out. So are you open to this? Like, how do you feel? So King was looking, and, Damon's listening. It ain't got nothing to really do with Damon, but, okay, cool. I can be a part of it because they do got some things going on. And King was like, okay, cool. I'm open to talking because I didn't want it to go the way it went physically. um, yeah, so I want to handle this in the manly way, or a stand up guy type of way versus just going to violence, right? And for King, he's feeling the same way Greg is, which is it's a disrespect issue. Like, we both had a disrespect, and we both was trying to defend that disrespect, right? So I'm open. We can talk. We can talk. So the girls, on the other hand, Simone she throwing a question out there to Quad, like, okay, they was here earlier and we talked to them. Everybody was cool. Everybody, they moved on. We calmed down. So how about you? Can you coexist with Gregory and Tisha in the same room with this group? And Quad just looked at them and she was like, nah, I'm not interested. I just don't want to do it. So this conversation leads to a back and forth with the ladies, because Quiet's trying to say, like, well, I don't want y'all to choose, if it's gonna be her, it's gonna be me, or it's gonna be them, it's gonna be us, like type of situation. If y'all gonna choose, then whatever, I can leave. Like, y'all could kick me out. And they looking at her like, okay, I mean, well, we try that already? Which I think this is how that back and forth started, because yeah, girl, I think we tried that, and you was the one who was begging us back to come get back, to get back in, and crying to us that we wasn't this and this and that. So you really want to go through that again and do this back and forth? Somehow Toya does slip in there that, okay, yeah, everybody wrong, even King is wrong. So of course Quiet is looking like, what? How you gonna say that he wrong? This and that. Because yeah, everybody was wrong. You was wrong, he was wrong, Greg was wrong. And actually T was actually the only one who was right. Because she stepped back for the most part. It had nothing to do with her, and she listened, and all she did was respond. You see? Like I said, if you watch her, yeah, she be listening, and she acts accordingly. So, and Heavenly, I don't even know, but she just walked up into the conversation, because she didn't get the whole everything of it, but she got the end of it, to hear that, oh well, King was wrong and this and that, and oh well, he was my man, he trying to stand up for my man and this and that, or for me. And of course, Heavenly, when it comes to that manly stuff, yeah, he gotta be a man, because he don't want to be no punk ass and this and that. You know how she be feeling, like you either a man or you a wimp. And to her, King was not trying to be no punk. That was Gregory. You know what I'm saying? He was being the weak little one, and King was being the big hoochie macho man, defending his girl and all this stuff. When technically, I think they both was doing the same thing. It's just right how they expressed it, right? But pretty much that was the whole episode. Honestly, they didn't really do too much, but it was just mostly trying to figure out what we gonna do with these two couples. Like, is somebody gonna quit, or are they both gonna come back? So I think that's what we really need to get to the reunion, just to try to see exactly how things are gonna play out, because whoops. Yeah, so yeah, we'll get to the reunion, and we're gonna have to break down some things just to see. I mean, my main question, I mean, do I have a main question for the reunion? It would be like mainly for Heavenly. What was you trying to do with that trip? Why did you invite Apollo? Why did you invite Shireen? Why did you invite um Phaedra? Yeah, so what was up with that? And why is everybody up against T so much? Like, I don't know. And what happened between last season and this season to where they couldn't coexist? Because last season, with all the shenanigans that Quad pulled against T, they coexisted, and it worked to where nobody was really breaking out into too much of a fuss of a fight. You know what I'm saying? It was uncomfortable, yes, for Greg and things like that, but it worked. But now, I mean, I guess maybe the only thing I could think of would be King was the only catalyst in this. And then with the trip, since they were so focused in the same vicinity with each other, and all that crazy talk about what the relationships and who doing what and where and like that. Whew. Yeah, Qua was just pushing buttons. So I kind of want her to maybe admit that at the reunion, that you pushed that man to the limit. So that's why we got where we at. Um, and then maybe a little bit on Contessa and Heavenly on where they stand, because did they make up or nah? Because that's a weird friendship right there as well. So yeah, I guess those are a couple questions that I will have, and we'll just have to see when we get there. Yeah. So this was Married to Medicine, finale. Wasn't that too much to it? Just a big old anniversary party for Toya. And yeah, what we gonna do with Greg and T. All right. Peace out, and talk about Atlanta next.